Hey guys, I appreciate you taking a minute to watch this short video. I'm sitting here in this room, not physically, but virtually, with four of the best rug cleaning gurus, if you will, in the industry. And you're here today to hear some really good stuff. First of all, Barry has put together the another rug tour coming up real soon, and we're looking forward to that. These rug tours have just become very, very successful. It's kind of become a thing around PCN. If you haven't been on a rug tour yet, you're really kind of missing out. So anyway, but before we get started, Dusty wanted to share a tip. I sent you an email that Dusty had some stuff to say about branding and how you can use that to make a lot of money. And the big tip is coming here a little bit later from Barry. You know, who would have thunk? Nobody ever thinks this. $7,000 from 2 rugs. Yes, it's possible, and Barry's going to let you know that here in a little bit, exactly how you can make $7,000 washing just 2 rugs. But I know you're here for this information from Dusty as well. So Dusty, if you don't mind, why don't you go ahead and talk just a little bit about branding, and then we'll move forward.
Hey Dano, thank you very much for having me on. It's always an honor to get on here and be interviewed by the great Dano. Yeah, I do have a huge tip, and here it is. It's all about your name, the name of your company. You know, Barry and I, we coach a lot of people around North America and other parts of the world too. And there is one common denominator for all these new cleaners that are getting into the business, the ones that are really having the success. They're always the ones that are prepared to create a new brand. No, that does not mean you need to ditch your current company name. It just means you need to create a DBA, that's a doing business as, for your rug cleaning. And I'm going to very quickly tell you why. The reason why is because people that have rugs that are worth a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars in rugs, or even ones that have that old family heirloom, and sometimes, yes, sometimes even that cheap rug that they bought from Home Depot, or am I allowed to say even Walmart, or a furniture store, the one they didn't pay a lot of money for. Well, people get really nervous about getting these rugs cleaned. Again, I know you're surprised when I'm saying it's a cheap rugs too, but you know, when a client has had their rug cleaned in the home by a carpet cleaner, the best case scenario they're ever going to get is mediocre results. And that's not okay for a homeowner. So when they get into a position where they realize they got to get that rug cleaned because, well, they can't buy a new rug like it anymore because, well, you know, it's not an expensive rug, but it's a decorator rug. It's not in stock anymore. They can't get that rug. They can't get that color. They can't get that design anymore. Suddenly that rug becomes very, very valuable to them. It's worth a lot more money than what they ever paid for it because they decorated around it. I know people that spend $20,000 decorating their living room around a cheap rug, and they get stuck. They have to get a professional to clean it. I'll guarantee that if they've had that rug cleaned before and the results were mediocre, or maybe even the rug was damaged or the home was damaged, I'll guarantee that they will not be looking for a carpet cleaner that has a shingle list. That means a list of other services, including rug cleaning. They're not going to trust you. They're only going to trust you if you have a brand that looks like you only clean rugs. And my suggestions are, call it a rug salon or a rug studio or a rug spa. Yes, there's other names too, but those are 3 very good ones. So there you go. That's a tip that you can use to make yourself a whole lot of money in the rug cleaning world.
Dusty, that's awesome. And you know, when you think about it, they've spent $20,000 to decorate around that rug. That rug is certainly more valuable, and that comes up a lot. You know, well, I know people. I'm not trying to get too long here, but I know people that I've talked to in the room that, you know, you can't get that out of cheap rugs, but yes, you can if you're the, you know, anyway, that's a great tip. Great tip. And I forgot to mention, you know, we're doing this off the cuff, guys. This is a one-take deal, as it always is at Pro Cleaners Network. So what you hear, what you see is what you get. I forgot to introduce the people that are here tonight. I'm not going to go through all. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that We're not going to give proper introductions. Those will be coming from Barry in a minute. But Barry O'Connell is with us tonight. Of course, I already told you that. But believe it or not, Scott Warrington from Interlink Supply is here on this conversation, and Lynn Tall. So, but Barry, I want to talk a little bit more before we get into your $7,000 for 2 rugs. My goodness, that's a lot of money for 2 rugs. But I know it's possible, and you're going to tell us how. But Barry, tell me a little bit about how this is what. How many of these have you done? I know we started them through Pro Cleaners Network, these rug tours, Barry O'Connell's rug tours. How many of these have you done? How did you conceive of the idea? And tell us what's going on with the one that you're doing coming up soon in Washington, D.C.
Okay, Dano, I really appreciate that introduction. One night in the room, I was talking to the guys about my trips to New York City to go on in to see the auction previews. And next thing I know, 20 people say they want to go with me. We did a rug tour to New York. It was a big success. But one thing people told us was that it wasn't enough. They wanted more. I mean, if you're going to go, for some of them came across the country, one day in the city is not enough. So we started planning these events. And one of the things we find is, if you're thinking about being in the business, if you're pushing a wand, you're doing carpets, and you're thinking, I want to get into the rug business. I want to break the ice, so I'm doing 1 rug a week, 2 rugs a week, 5 rugs a week, under 15. The guys who are just breaking into this. Maybe they're even doing them in their driveway. Maybe they're not getting there yet. You get together with the guys who have built their own businesses. I'm not talking about the guys who inherited the business from their grandfather. And a lot of those companies that get up and go got up and went. We're talking about the guys who are making things happen today. And we find when we get you together with them, you get ideas. You get solutions. You get plans. You get ideas that you can take home with you and turn into solid money. And that's what this is really about. Number 1, you got to get the rug clean. And that's why we've got Doug Heiferman and Scott Warrington coming on in, because they're going to give us their insights and their lessons on how to get the rug clean. You have to know what the rug is. You got to be able to tell the difference between a machine-made and a handmade. You got to know it. You got to know what a tuft it is. We're going to start at the basics and take you up just as far as you want to go. And we've got one of the most dynamic people in the rug ID field, and that's Lynn Tall. Lynn has got a lot of experience. It's hard to imagine somebody so young can have so much experience, but she's been at this for about 20 years, and she knows what she's talking about, and she's got a great way about her. But we're going to get you together with the people who are making serious money in this business, and we're going to, put you into a warehouse. This is just a small fraction of the warehouse on the screen. We're going to put you into a warehouse where you can learn about rugs. Then we're going to take you on up to a rug cleaning plant. When I started working with them, they were doing up to 40 rugs a week. 40 rugs a week is not bad. These guys were doing 40 rugs a week, tops. They peaked out at 40 rugs a week. I got a text message from them yesterday. 91 rugs in the door yesterday. They're going over 200 rugs this week. They've been hitting around 200 lately. These guys are, I'm not going to swear that every week they do 200 rugs, but it's now gone from up to 40 to up to over 200 rugs. How have they done that in 2 years? They didn't inherit this rug cleaning business from their grandfather. They built it themselves, and they're going to tell you how they built it. And we're going to get together with Doug Moorsbacher, who's in a town of 5,000 people. He's going to tell you about how he built his business and became the #1 dominant rug cleaner in his area, even when he had an old established Moore plant that he had to compete with. You can beat the guys who inherited from their grandfather. You don't have to take a back seat to anybody, and you're going to learn how Doug did it. And then you're going to talk to Anthony Belmont. I call these guys the 500% Club, because since we started working with them, they grew their businesses 500%. From 40 rugs a week to over 200 rugs a week. That's 500%. And we're going to get the numbers from all these guys, from Jan Sandler, from Anthony Belmont, to have a chance to talk to these guys and find out what actually worked. You don't need to hear about somebody who's talking theory. You don't need to hear about somebody who inherited the business. You don't need to hear anything, but you need to hear from the people who know how to build the business because they built one. Now, I'm going to come on back, and I'm going to tell you something so radical, so different, so amazing. I'm going to tell you how a guy got a call to pick up 2 rugs to be washed. And by the time he returned them, it was over $7,000. Over $7,000 for a call to do 2 rugs. It's out there. And this isn't about scamming somebody. This is about cheating somebody. This is about servicing their needs. And I'm going to tell you how it's done. And you're going to meet the guy who did it. Jan Sandler, you're going to meet the guy who probably gets more money per rug in his door than anybody in the business. But right now, I want to introduce somebody really special. I want to bring on this dynamic person in Rug ID who also knows how to run the counter, who knows how to get the sales, who knows how to sell these things. Len Tull. Len, why don't you come on and say hi to everybody?
Thank you so much, Barry. That was really, really lovely. And thank you to Dan and everybody here. One of the things that I like to talk about, you know, Barry just mentioned 500% growth for these companies, where on the Rug Tour you'll get to meet with them and talk to them one-on-one. That doesn't happen by accident. These guys worked really, really hard to build up their confidence when speaking with customers. If you are confident when speaking to your customers, they will have confidence in you. When you tell them this rug needs repair, this rug is damaged, I want to help you take care of these rugs. It's important to have a working knowledge of what you're looking at. If you're telling someone to spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars on a rug that costs them $200 to buy, it's a rare chance that someone's going to say okay to that. But with some basic rug ID, some basic knowledge, and a whole lot of confidence, you can speak to your customers, be their authority, and they will truly tell you to just go ahead and do what needs to be done. Rarely do I get asked how much. If I'm speaking with conviction, my customers just say, okay. I have been doing this since 1994, so it is almost 20 years. I have a lot of practice. But one of the best things that happened to me is I worked for one of the highest volume, I think, third generation companies in the country, and I did all of the pre-inspection 6 days a week. So I was around rugs and rugs and rugs every single day. The great thing about Zia's plant in Washington, D.C., as you can see from this image here, we are surrounded by rugs and rugs and rugs. And there will be plenty of us there to help you look at them, distinguish characteristics, learn handmade from machine made, learn maybe, now that we know it's handmade, learn country of origin, basic information that makes you look like an expert. You are an expert. At that point, you already know more than most people who are currently claiming to clean rugs at that point. It makes you a viable resource for your customers. We're going to talk about taking photos, not just for appraisal, but for, you know, posting photos on the Rug Hub. I know a lot of you Pro Cleaners Network people are on the Rug Hub, and it's important to have, you know, to post good information there. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a workshop on that. We're going to have a lot of after hours talking. I typically by day 2 I've lost my voice because I stay up until the bar closes and we do nothing but talk shop, and it's a wonderful thing. And speaking of talking shop, I think I've done enough of that, but I know that Scott Warrington is here and he wants to talk shop, so I'm going to throw it to Scott Warrington, who is far and away one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and he's got so much information and knowledge to share. So Scott, I'm going to give that to you.
Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate the opportunity to be here with such a great group of rug experts and talking to so many more that are going to be listening to this and joining us at the RugLovers tour in Washington, D.C. in just a few weeks. I'm excited to bring with me Doug Heiferman, A lot of people know him as an IICRC instructor with so much enthusiasm for what he teaches, but he also has had a family rug washing business for many years that he's actively involved in, and he really can get people enthused for the business side of things, so that you're not only excited about washing rugs, but running a business and all the responsibilities that go with that. And he's going to be showing us some things. We're going to be talking about several of our rug cleaning products for wool rugs and fringe cleaners. We're going to be looking at some samples of things. What does Protector do when it's been on the rug for a long time? Does it change the feel or the hand of the rug? And what about the appearance of the rug as it gets older? Should you put Protector on or not? And take a look at science for a little bit. What about deodorizers? Why do they work different on natural fibers than on synthetic fibers? And we certainly hope that you guys will want to pick up some of the Bridgepoint and Interlink products, and so we're going to offer some special deals with shipping on that. Barry tells me that sometimes there's problems with getting products shipped out when you need them, but we have a fully stocked warehouse in Salt Lake City for the west side of the country and one in Nashville for the east side of the country. When you place an order with us, if it comes in by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it'll be leaving on the truck or on the UPS or FedEx that day, and we'll get it to you real quickly. And to encourage you to do that, we're going to give free shipping on all the products. We're going to give you a discount on the price of 10%. And we're working on a few other specials, a few that my boss hasn't approved yet, but I may have to personally approve when we get there. So we'll have good reasons for you to stock up. But let's put it back to Dano now for a little more from him.
Hey guys, I'll tell you, I appreciate all of you being here. I didn't give anybody really a proper introduction. Barry O'Connell is the undisputed rug ID expert in the world. I've been saying that for a few years now, and nobody's nobody's argued with me about it. SpongoBongo.com. I don't know a lot about Lynn other than what I know through Barry. Scott Warrington is, of course, well known through the industry through Interlink Supply, but I'll tell you guys, more and more of our members, tons and tons. If somebody would have told me, 3 or 4 years ago that we'd have, 40, 50, 60 people showing up on Wednesday nights, not just once a month, but every Wednesday night like we do the Tuesday night thing, I wouldn't have believed it. They're showing up just for rugs. And everybody that is started showing up on the Rug Lovers Night on Wednesdays is making money with rugs. It's out there. Hard surfaces are pretty much taken over, wall-to-wall carpeting. So it's just a gold mine of opportunity, and I am very privileged and proud to present to you the best of the best in the industry. But Barry, before we go on, I know a lot of guys have stayed tuned now for a little bit watching this video. How in the world can you make $7,000 cleaning just 2 rugs?
Dano, I'm going to tell you, the basis of this business is so different that you're going to think I'm goofy when I tell you. I mean, there's going to be people out there shaking their head thinking that I'm full of it. There's the keys to the business is do good, be kind, and help people. Now, how the heck are you going to make any money doing good, being kind, and helping people? Come on. That's not what people talk about. They talk about being sharp or clever or smart or crafty or whatever. Nobody ever talks about being good. But let me talk about this. Real case. Jan Sandler got a call at his shop. Customer wants 2 rugs cleaned. Sure. Jan sends out 2 of his team members. Jan doesn't have employees. Jan has team members. That tells you something about Jan. He's being good. He's being kind. He's helping people. He sends out the team members, but he had put them, and Jan's been working with us. We've been helping him to build this business. We've been working with him on the marketing. We've been trying to make a difference in his life, and we're seeing that difference because he sends the guys out to the house to pick up the 2 rugs. And because they've gone through the training and they know how to deal with the customers, they're looking at the rugs. They're pre-inspecting, and Lynn Tall is going to be talking about pre-inspection. They're pre-inspecting the rug in the house. And the rug pre-inspection is what made them the money, because they're looking at the rugs, and guess what they found? Active moth infestation. At that point, they not only load up the 2 rugs, but they load up 8 other rugs. So now it's not 2 rugs, it's 10 rugs. They take 10 rugs out of there. So there's the cost, there's the square foot cost of cleaning them, of getting rid of the moths, of then moth treating them, and then wool protecting them. And then also the moths have been eating the rug. So now Jan, we helped him set up so he could job out all his repairs and start, you know, now he's doing some in-house, but the repairs make so much money. And Jan makes a significant portion. Jan is probably going to pocket more than half of that $7,000. I'm going to let you talk to him about it. But here it is. From 2 rugs to 10 rugs to be washed, then to be cleaned and demothed and moth-proofed and wool treatment. And Jan told me the $7,000 was before they even cut the pad. There's padding on top of that. What is it, $2 a square foot? I mean, we're talking about a serious amount of money because he goes out and he takes care of his customers' needs. He's not out there trying to flim-flam them. He's not out there trying to sell them something they don't want, something they don't need. He's not trying to trick them. He's going on out. He's looking, he's being attentive, he's figuring out what they need, and he's coming back and he's solving problems. He's not selling. He's solving problems. If you want to make serious amounts of money solving problems and being good to people, this is so different than bait and switch or upselling. I hate the word upselling. People talk about, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about providing solutions and taking care of people, doing the right thing. Now, the only way you can do that is, one, you have to learn about the rugs. That's why we spend a day in the rug warehouse. That's why we bring in Lynn Tall and everybody else. We've got Mark Kashishian, who's one of the top appraisers in the world, coming in to teach people rug ID. We've got, because we want to break it up into small groups. We don't want classroom settings, sitting in chairs looking at slides. We're going to put you in the warehouse with some real experts, and we're going to let you go to it. And you may be in the group that's trying to figure out the difference between the machine-made and the handmade, or you may be in the group trying to figure out the difference between the 1880 Tabriz and the 1890 Tabriz. Whatever level you're at, we got somebody who can help you. This is a wonderful opportunity. This is a chance to learn the skills that are going to make you money. This is going to give you the opportunity to get some prestige into your business. You know something? Over and over and over again, carpet cleaners tell me there is no prestige. People don't respect carpet cleaners. I'm sorry to say it. I know you guys work so hard and you do such great work. But you know, they don't respect you. They don't look up to you. But on the other hand, when you walk in there as the Oriental rug expert, when you can tell them, and even if it's something simple like, oh, that's a... you know, Godwin, who we see on PCN all the time, Godwin came on our program. He goes on back. He's doing some carpets in somebody's house, and he looks into the room and goes, oh, that's a very nice handmade Indian rug. And the woman goes, you know rugs. And next thing you know, he's loading up the truck with some rugs to be washed. It's that easy to build your business. Once you get the knowledge, and Godwin got that knowledge because Lynn Tall coached him through it and showed him how to recognize an Indian rug. We're going to take you, we're going to put you with the best people. We're going to put you with people who are making serious money, with Doug, with Jan, with Anthony Belmont, and the guys from Glen and Lord Baltimore. Ask them how they built from 40 rugs to 200 rugs a week. Ask Doug how he became the dominant rug cleaner in his area and knocked out the third-generation Moore plant. Ask Jan how he sells to the cream of the crop, the rich people down on the Florida coast in the Naples area, doing very expensive rugs. Ask Jan how he makes so much money and such high sales per rug by taking care of people's needs. That's what this is about, you know. And Dano, I don't know what else to tell him. All I got to say is, if you're thinking about rugs, if you're thinking about getting off the truck, If you're thinking about making a difference in your life, if you're thinking about making the kind of money that you've been dreaming about, if you're thinking about addressing your hopes and your dreams, if you're thinking about doing it before you get too old to work and you die, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm 56 years old. I'm looking straight in the face of the rest of my life. And now they're saying they might take away my Social Security, or they might make me work till I'm 70 or 80 years old or whatever. I don't want to be, and I know you don't want to be breaking your back every day doing something that's tough work. Well, you could be into rugs and be making a difference. And you know, the nice part is that then you can transition to the point where you've got people who help you, you're supervising them, you're making sure the work's perfect. But you know, this is your chance. This is your opportunity. Nobody's ever going to spoon feed you like this one again. I mean, we're talking about making it possible for you to get together with a 500% club, the guys who made 500% increases in their businesses. And you know, I could be blowing a lot of hot air, so that's why I want you to talk to guys you know. They're recognizable guys in this industry, and you're going to talk to them. But you're only going to talk to them if you come on the rug tour. And you got to move quick because you know, we've got the package deal on the hotel rooms. You got to make the reservation. We're running out of time. We're running out of seats. You know, I do this, I always bring it back home to you guys because I want you to have the opportunity. But if you don't make a move, somebody else is going to be sitting in your seat, and somebody else is going to be doing that business, and somebody else is going to be living your dream, and you're going to be pushing a wand. Dano, I can't say anything else. I'm getting out of here. I'm sorry. And I don't mean to give you guys a hard time, but I...
No, that's awesome. Guys, seriously, Barry gets a little passionate, as you can see, but I'm going to tell you from the bottom of my heart, too. These guys that are getting into this thing with rugs are doing very, very, very well, and they are earning respect. There is a difference between carpet cleaning and rug cleaning when it comes to this level of knowledge when it comes to, you know, to rugs. And these are some of the best, world-class people that you can learn from, you can get together with, brush elbows with, talk to, meet. One of the things that Barry tells me a lot, and the people that have been on the rug tours, that it's almost, you get a sense of family when you go on these things. But I got to tell you this, seats are limited. You know, I got to think that probably a year from now when we do one of these things, it's going to be 300 seats will fill up in no time. But right now there's a very limited number of seats. The sooner you register, the better your price on the hotel room is going to be. And I know that several people have sent email to their people to come to watch this video. For all we know right now, there's 200 people on this page, you know, watching this same video. So sign up now. Make it a habit after that, or you know, to get into ProCleanersNetwork.com. Join the Rug Lovers Night on Wednesday nights, and I appreciate it, Barry, Dusty, Scott, Lynn. Appreciate everything that you've done to make this happen, and I'm proud to introduce it to you. So unless someone else has something else to say, I'll end it with sign up now. Scroll down and sign up while you still can. And thanks a lot, guys. I shall see you in the clubhouse soon.